Hi guys, so I'm going to show you how you can create a David Hockney inspired tessellated image like this one here. Now obviously it would be something that would be really easy to do physically as well, but I'm just going to show you a quite quick digital alternative. So the first thing I have done, I've opened up Photoshop here and you can decide on the size of your canvas. So I have opened up an A3 document here. All you need to do is go to File, New. You can choose your size, you can have it custom. You can also change the orientation as well. So if I go to A3, I want to have it landscape, click create, and then you can see it opens up here. So I am then going to get my image. Again, I'm going to get my image here. Now you can combine a series of images together. I would recommend that when you are starting to take your photographs that you think about possibly the same location, almost the same viewpoint, but perhaps some slightly different angles, some minor edits which might make a really nice effect when you take it into Photoshop. Again, these are things that you can experiment with. So as you can see, I'm making my image that little bit bigger. Now in order to keep the constraint, so to keep the ratio, I have held the shift key down. So I'll just show you what happens when I don't. So again, just going to drag my image in. If I don't hold my shift key down, you can see that I'm able to change and distort the ratio of it, which is not what I want. So again, just going to click and drag that in, hold the shift key down, and then it keeps my constraints exactly the same. Once you're happy with the kind of overall size, you can hit enter, or you can press a little tick at the top. Now again, if I am looking at the work of Hockney, I can see it makes up, you can obviously tell what the image is, it's relatively clear, distorted in some ways, so it's nothing kind of too major. We can play around with the orientation of the photographs, the kind of scale and size of the area that you have selected. So I'm just going to dive right in. So again, there's a million different ways in which you can create the exact same effect. This is just one of the easiest ways I have found. So I'm going to use the marquee tool, and all I need to do is literally just start grabbing some areas. Now things that you can experiment with would be the kind of layout. So I'm going to show you something like that as well. So I'm going to do Command C, Command V, so that is copy and paste. If you do not have a little bounding box here, all you need to do is click on Show Transform Controls. I have my image, and again I can start to slightly offset. I might want to make it a little bit bigger. Hit enter, and again I'm just going to keep going back and selecting areas of the image that I want. I'm changing the orientation from landscape to portrait in areas that I have selected. Again, it's Command C, Command V to copy and paste, and you can start to kind of get an idea of how these can be pieced together. Again, it's quite nice if your image are slightly askew. And then again, when you are selecting your image, make sure that you have the correct layer selected, so it's always highlighted in that slightly lighter grey. I was always using this marquee tool as well. So again, Command C, Command V. Really experiment with your layout, composition, so you can see that to match that up it would roughly be sitting about here. I am looking for it to be slightly off. I might even make it that little bit bigger. Again, holding my shift key down, make it a little bit bigger, and you can keep going. So again, you can experiment with layout, with portrait, landscape, manipulating your images. So again, if you've taken some from various different angles, it might be that your image changes entirely. So these are things that you can experiment, so you can get an idea. Here's one that I've started doing earlier. So again, just really experiment with your image. You can see here, I will unlock my layer and I'll drag it to the top just so you can see the difference. So this is the image that I've started with, and this is how I have started to make it kind of David Hockney inspired. But again, it's exactly the same method. So marquee tool, Command C, Command V to copy and paste, and then again make sure your bounding box is on there, show transform controls, and you can rotate, you can change the size of your image, and you should create a really successful outcome.